Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my Ranni the Witch questline video, and what we're going to want to do is summon that cooperator right there. We may as well. He's going to help us out with this battle. Wait for his health bar to appear and then run forward past this message or past that sword on the ground, and we'll just trigger this boss fight. This is Margit the Fell Omen, guys, and it is a very easy boss if you've been following this guide and have the weapon and the level that you are. By pressing L2 and R2 you can do this Ash of War called Bloodhound's Finesse, and it's really going to do some big damage. If you get hit a couple of times, it's okay, just back up and heal, jump and do a heavy attack if you want, and it's going to stagger him pretty easily, allowing for a critical hit. You go around the front of him and press R1. You want to stay locked on at all times. This boss, if you've played the game before, is very easy. You want to dodge roll forward with the timing of that hammer, and with the help of Rogier here, it's going to be very easy to take Margit the Fell Omen down. So basically at this level this should be a cakewalk, this boss. As you can see, don't even need to critical hit him. He just basically absolutely gets demolished by our weapon and the two of us, and yeah, it's all very easy, guys, if you just follow basically the basic dodge roll mechanics. So level up after you've beaten him, and we just want to be focusing on dexterity for now, boosting dexterity, because that is going to be leveling the damage of our weapon the most, which is going to make boss fights and enemies even easier. So as we progress towards Stormvale Castle, that front gate's going to be locked. We want to grab this side of Grace, guys, and we're going to want to go through this doorway here to the left. Now there is an NPC here. We can just have a quick chat to him if we want. He's basically going to tell us about going around, can't open the main gate, and just select the first option there in dialogue. Very well, like all 2 dialogue options. Always select the first one, press triangle to pick up that rune fragment, and basically just run up this way, guys. And it's all very straightforward and simple. If you follow this guide, if you die, don't worry too much. Just basically respawn and get back to where I am in the guide. So run over and grab this side of Grace. As we make our way through the castle, is going to be the quickest way. You can kill this bird thing here, it's not too big of a deal. There's got to be some enemies up here. Be careful of not to fall off the edge, because you will die if you fall off. And pick up that shield. That's a good shield that we can use. It doesn't have a parry on it, so we can actually equip it while using L2 for our Ash of War Bloodhound's Fang with this weapon, which you can go ahead and do right now if you want to. I sort of wait a bit to do it, but that's okay. Kill those guys there. Now you want to run back as these guys toss a flaming thing at these explosive barrels. So just run up to them and R1 them. It'll just one hits them. It's all very easy, very simple. Grab those arrows there and make your way over here. Now you want to run backwards, and he'll throw a thing exploding those barrels. And even though I was running backwards, I still got hit, but it's not a big deal, as you can see. It did not kill me. So I just run forward and attack him there. Roll into these and walk up this stairway here and the stairway here. Don't fall down if you can help it. And this doorway we're going to go through to pick up an item. Now there's going to be an enemy in here, guys. We don't need to kill the enemy. It's not essential, but we need the item in here. So as long as we get that item, it's okay. If you die to this enemy, it's alright, don't worry. Just grab the item, the rusty key. You can just dodge roll before he does that jumping attack, and it's very easy to get behind him. And you can use jumping attacks and Bloodhound's Finesse, and it does so much damage that it just falls. If you're lucky and kill this guy, he'll drop some armor. If you do get an armor piece from him, equip it, because it's really good armor. And if you want to, you can actually farm this armor from a side of Grace close to here, from another one of these knights, Banished Knights I think they're called. So go this way, guys, and drop off the sledge here, and we're going to open this door using the rusty key we just picked up. And climb up this ladder here. So still doing all these steps to get Ranni's quest. We're going to be basically unlocking her place of residence. Watch out for this guy here, guys, as you run up these stairs. And she's like up a tower, a couple of regions over. But yeah, just basically run up these stairs here. If you do die, no worries, just make your way back up to this area. We're pretty strong, level 36 at this point in the game, so these enemies should not be too difficult. We have a really good weapon. It's been upgraded a couple of times, so at a great point to basically steamroll this part of the game. Alright guys, grab that side of grace. We're going to be doing a jump over here, so a running jump. So hold circle and press X right at the end. If you've grabbed that side of grace and don't make the jump, that's fine. Just fast travel back or reload and try the jump again. It's very simple. Make your way over here, drop down here, and then we're going to drop down again. Just run past these enemies, don't bother fighting them. They won't get disturbed or aggroed. Run across this bridge. Probably advise killing these 2 enemies here. They only take 2 hits to kill. If you get hit like I did, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, it's just we're high enough level that we have high enough vigor or health. So grab that cookbook there, which is good. You can drop down there to get a shield through that little hole in the roof with an enemy, but it's not really worth it. The shield's not really that great. So I just keep going. And if you can see on the top left, grab that field cooling finger on in the middle of the screen. Just before there was a little spirit gate. That means you can use the spirit calling bell if you want to summon some spirit enemies to help you fight. But at the moment we're just running past enemies, so that doesn't matter. There's going to be a golden seed up here, guys. I'm going to run past the enemies. Now these crow things do fire damage, and they actually hit pretty hard, even for this level. We don't really have any new armor or anything, so we want to just keep going basically and grab this golden seed. And when we stop, that's where they can do quite a bit of damage. You can see that's almost half my health there. If we just keep running and moving quickly, it should be fine. If you do die, no worries, just reload. As you can see, I'm carrying a bit of souls, but once we get to the farming technique, these souls of ruins are not even going to matter that much, guys. Alright, now make your way over to this side of grace, and from this side of grace we're going to be versing Godric. Now Godric, so I heal, level up, and flask, use the golden seed, increase the number of charges. Use all the help we can get, level up dexterity, increase that damage. And basically make sure you've got that flask of wondrous physique just for an extra heal there. And right, we're going to verse the boss. Now this boss is probably at this point it's going to be the hardest boss that we're going to have to verse in the quest line at this level, because after this we defeat this guy, we're going to be able to level up as much as we want. So basically employ the Bloodhound's Fang to use Bloodhound's Finesse on him. Stay back is my best advice. If you keep dying on a boss, it's because you're not standing back, you're not controlling the distance enough. Always stand back, run back, basically run away from the boss if you're dying too much. Learn his patterns, learn his moves. See, this is a very sort of like long combo, this one, so we want to stay back, then go in for our hit. As you can see, when he swirls the wind around, it's very difficult to get in there for Bloodhound's Finesse. You want to learn that dodge there. Once you learn that dodge, this guy's super easy. If you die a couple of times, it's really not a big deal. And as you can see, we do so much damage that we're able to just stagger him and critical him. And the blood loss does even more damage, so look at that. And this is going to trigger the second phase. Once the second phase starts, guys, just run up here next to the door, just stand behind here and heal if you have to. As you can see, I'm almost out of MP to use Bloodhound's Finesse, but that's no big deal. We're just going to want to dodge his moves, stay back as far as possible, heal when we need to, and go in for basically a jumping heavy attack or a light attack. And he's at such low health now, guys, that it shouldn't be too difficult. See, I'm not really playing very well at this point, but that's okay. As you can see here, I don't even hit him yet in the second phase. But the 2 big hits, so that's still got half health, so he's not super strong. You can die to him. This is, like I said, one of the harder bosses because we're still level 36. But look how much damage that does. So when he does the slam attack, just run away, guys. Always run away and maintain your distance with the boss. And as you can see now, he's on very low health. Just one more heavy jump and he'll be dead. And there we go. Got the boss kill, and I've still got, what, 3 heals plus my flask of wondrous physique. That's 4 heals and I'm on full health. It should be fairly easy to beat this guy. If you're having lots of difficulty, try just farm. a bit, level up a little bit. And if you have to look up a guide about how to defeat the boss, honestly it should not take you that long. It's the first time you're versing him. You may die, you know, at the most 10 times, 15 times. We're such a high level that if you're just patient and you go in, wait for the openings and strike, then you'll be a-okay. And then that's the hard part done, basically, is defeating Godric, and it's fairly easy considering this is Elden Ring, and considering, you know, we're trying to do one of the longest quest lines in the game and be versing difficult bosses. We now have a Great Rune, and we can use that to give to the Two Fingers and unlock basically an NPC that we can then use to travel to a late game area where we can do a power leveling technique. And I'm going to basically be showing that to you in the next video. In this video we're just going to continue on into the next area. Excuse me. And then in this area, Leonia of the Lakes, we are basically going to be unlocking Sites of Grace, grabbing some maps, upgrading our weapon, and we'll be doing this all in 10 minutes, so it's very quick, very easy. If you have run out of souls or runes and you die, don't worry, you can just farm some enemies. It's not really a big deal. Head over to Church of Irith just here, make sure you pick up the Sacred Tear. We want to make use of basically all these Sacred Tears that we can pick up along the way to increase the amount of health we gain when we use our flasks. So carry on and run past these enemies down here, just jump over here to the right, there's going to be like a sort of encampment, make your way through this ravine. So it's the Dark Moon Greatsword that we're going to be getting at the end of this. It's technically a like an intelligence build, and in this I'm going for a dexterity build, this guide. But what we can do is basically we're going to have to be versing Rennala at some point, another boss, and we've been doing a truck ton of damage against her. So grab this side of Grey, guys. When we do verse her, it's going to be super easy. And then we're going to basically, you can respec your character to whatever build you want. If you want an intelligence build, so you can use that Dark Moon Greatsword, then that's all good. You can do that. If you want a different build, a holy build, stay dex, you know, arcane, whatever build you want, you can just use one of these respec things with Rennala, and you can basically make whatever character you want to. So be careful of these enemies over here when you grab this map. So now that we've got that map, we're going to make our way northwest. So just head over this way, and we're going to be grabbing maps and Sites of Grace along the way, so just basically follow where I'm going and you'll be fine. There are a few enemies in here, but like I said, they, you know, don't do a whole lot of damage when we're at this level. Like, see, look how much damage I just did to that guy. There are going to be some lobsters, enemies that can do ranged damage, and they do hit pretty hard, so watch out for them. But yeah, apart from that, if you just follow where I'm going and keep riding and don't, you know, loiter around enemies, they're not really going to be able to kill you. So as you can see, there's an NPC there, just ignore him, keep going, and head over this way, guys. And run around the back side of these enemies. There's going to be a Site of Grace up this hill, we're just going to grab that on the way, make things easier. There's a whole bunch of dungeons and areas, and this is a very big area of the game. There's lots of stuff you can do here. You can like linger around and do the stuff if you want, and then just come back to this guy whenever you want to. It's not a big deal. At the moment, we're just going to be grabbing Sites of Grace and grabbing maps, just so we can see the area very clearly, where we need to go, what we need to do. So there's going to be a dragon guarding a key, which we're just going to grab later on when we need to fight Rennala. As part of Ranni's questline, you get to a point, if you haven't defeated Rennala, you will not be able to progress in the questline. I've done the questline, probably this would be the 4th or 5th time, I believe, I've done it. Maybe the 4th. So I've done it enough that I know, you know, how the easiest way to do it, how to get to all the locations, who to speak to, what order to do in, so it's really simple, guys, if you just follow this guide. Okay, grab that map and grab this Site of Grace, and we're going to be basically grabbing that is where an NPC is going to spawn, but we first have to give our Great Rune to the Two Fingers before he will spawn. But I'm just using it as a waypoint. He won't be there yet, but he's as a waypoint to grab a Site of Grace that's close to him. So you want to put that marker there and just head straight in that direction, and we will stumble upon the Site of Grace, which is the closest one, I believe, to that NPC. Because he's at like a church, but there's no Site of Grace there. So when we do teleport back to him and things, we want to be using this Site of Grace, which is just up here on this sort of crumbled down rock area. Alright, so jump off all skies, grab this Site of Grace. That was an accidental point at the camera. Pressing triangle. So the Dark Moon Greatsword's traditionally given to the betrothed of the Carrion Queen, because in the quest line you know, defeat Rennala. I guess that makes Ranni the queen, and it's basically you get married per se to Ranni in this sense. Who knows what marriage means in Elden Ring? It's all very mysterious. In Dark Souls 3 it meant basically if you are married to someone you stab each other in the face with a giant sword. So that storyline there is quite funny. So we're going to make our way over here, guys. I do get slightly lost for a split second here. I run in the wrong direction, but that's okay. It's just for about 10 or 20 seconds I go over here too far left. I've gone. But that's not a big deal. If you want to just skip, you know, 10-20 seconds ahead. I run over here thinking that there's a Site of Grace here when it's actually just a bit further up, sort of northwest. So I run up here and I realise that I made a wrong turn, and I don't really waste that much time sticking around, I just keep going. So there was a Site of Grace I was looking for, but it's further up along this way. And you can just run this way anyway, it's not a big deal. It's like 10 seconds or so of running southwest accidentally. Grab that row of fruit if you want to, and just keep making your way along here, and just head towards that marker that I placed. So I'm sort of looking around in a little bit of confusion, then I sort of make the distinction and realize that the Site of Grace I was looking for is just up here on the left. So you guys keep running this way, and we're almost at the next Site of Grace. As you can see, this lake area is very large, and yeah, so basically Ranni is, you know, she's a Empryan. She's wanted nothing to do with the two fingers, so she slew her body. If she would have slain her body without the Rune of Death, she would have just been reincarnated by the Erd Tree. So she wanted to sever that connection with the Erd Tree, the Elden Ring, and the two fingers and the Greater Will. So she slew her body, thus still maintaining immortality. Grab that Site of Grace. There we go, guys. Still maintaining immortality, but with no connection to the Erd Tree or the Greater Will, because she really wants there to be sort of less order imposed by the demigods on the lands between. Whereas the largest religion in Elden Ring, the Golden Order, so as you can see on the middle of the screen at the left, we can summon enemies in this area. Summon spirits to fight enemies, I should say. And grab the Site of Grace over here. This is the one close to where the dragon is, so we're going to need that when we steal that key to the Caria Manor, or Caria University, or whatever it's called. So make your way over here, guys. And yeah, there was actually like a mistranslation between the Japanese and English and Ranni's questline, which is quite interesting, what she says at the end of the game, which, you know, I won't spoil for you guys, but it's quite interesting to see that there was a slightly different translation. If you notice, when we did meet Ranni, when she introduced herself as Renna, she has 4 arms, or her doll has 4 arms, as those balloon things hold up some marionette type enemies, and they all have similarly 4 arms, so she must have used a doll that is you know, made by the same people who made these enemies in this region at the university. So grab that Site of Grace there, guys, and continue on, and this is where we're going to be using those ruins finally to upgrade our sword. If you have died or don't have the ruins or whatever, that's okay. you can either farm some runes to buy these stones, or you can there's an area very close to here at the end of this ravine. You could go up there and there should be some somber smithing stones in there that you can grab. It's very easy to find if you want to look up on the Fextra wiki, which is I always find very useful if I am needing a specific item to do something. Make sure you grab that Side of Grace, guys, and this map here, and we've pretty much unlocked the majority of all the maps in this region. And we want to head up this way through the King's Realm ruins. There's going to be a false wall up here that we want to hit. Just ignore the enemies like usual, guys. It's super easy, super simple. I don't know why, but I go for a heavy attack on that. Doesn't matter. Grab this Side of Grace, guys, and you can rest here if you want. The enemies don't really bother once you pass that gateway there, and talk to this NPC here. This is EG. This is actually Ranni's blacksmith, so one of Ranni's followers, and we're going to want to strengthen the armament. Let's go ahead and use Somber Smithing Stone 2 and buy a Somber Smithing Stone 3, and you can strengthen the sword again. So now we got a Bloodhound's Fang +2. So now, as you can see, we're close to leveling up. That's okay. So close, in fact, that we can use one of these golden runes that we picked up. If you've followed this guide exactly and haven't lost your runes, then you should pretty much be right where I am here, and you can go ahead and level up, guys. So increase that dexterity, focus on that for now, and basically jump on back to the round table hold where we're going to be talking to the two fingers. I play this game so much, but for some reason these doors and all this get all very confusing. It all looks the same, and I always run up the incorrect door trying to look for the place I'm trying to go, but it's so small that it's fine. And basically listen to what the two fingers will talk about: the greater will, what happened with Elden Ring, how it was smashed by the Queen Marika and all that sort of stuff. Just exhaust all the dialogue. Keep pressing triangle and talking to her, and she's going to give you the option, guys, to basically trade in Great Rune. So make sure you pick the sword, because obviously we don't want to be wasting runes on that shield there. And now that we've traded in the sword, that NPC at that church is basically going to be available to talk to. So place a marker at that church and head on over to the Side of Grace that we picked up, very close to it. Jump back onto Torrent there, guys, with the spectral whistle, and head on over to the church. So as you can see, look at the sword now, super strong. Just that heavy attack just one-shot that enemy there, which is great. And now we can basically do the power leveling technique. So not only do we have a strong sword, but we're going to be having a strong character. To do the power leveling technique, we do need to defeat a boss, but it's going to be very easy at this level we're at, and the strength of weapon. Like I said many times, always select the first dialogue option, and that's going to start the thing. We're going to be given this Festering Bloody Finger, and it's going to tell us how to use it in PvP. Alright, so that's the second part of the guide, guys. Equip that shield if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part where we're going to go ahead and do the power leveling technique.